the hate army
Big
troll.
It's the hate army,
bro. The hate army.
Shout out to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you an update on the Dr. Disrespect situation because yesterday, almost the whole podcast was about it. In a nutshell, yesterday, the bombshell hit the internet from the mouth of the man himself, Dr. Disrespect, the full story of why he was banned from Twitch in 2020, or was it 2021? It was either 2020 or 2021, you know, because it had been under wraps and behind NDAs and court hush orders and stuff for years, but former employees of Twitch started speaking out about it, saying the reason that he was banned from Twitch was because he was basically sexting a minor via Twitch whispers, and they called him out for it, and then basically banned him from the site, and then he felt that was wrongful termination of his contracts to stream and have a partnership on the site. He sued them in civil court, and Twitch decided to just settle for several $1 million, and that was that. That was the situation. However, no one ever publicly talked about it because I guess they felt it would have hurt Dr. Disrespect's, you know, reputation, but also probably Twitch's as well. Who knows, right? Don't know. But anyway, that's what's going on. He publicly admitted it yesterday on Twitter that, yes, he did all this stuff. But his claim is that he never intended to ever act on the messages. He knows that they are inappropriate and he apologizes, but he's not a pedophile and don't bring him into that category. And he basically swore a whole lot because he was so angry about the situation. I don't know what he's angry about. He was the one who did it. Like, what is he so pissed off about? I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up again today is this simple. Yesterday, as I was talking about the story, I had a common thread of thought. And the common thread of thought is that this guy is a repeat offender. And what I mean by that is, if you follow his history, you would see that he has a history of misconduct. So why are people defending the guy? Why do people continue to watch the guy when you know that he has a history of bad misconduct? And we even debated the idea of separating the art from the artist, right? When Michael Jackson was accused of possibly, you know, let's be honest, abusing children, right? Does that mean that all the musical work that he had done up to that time was meaningless and we forget it, right? When Chris Benoit lost his mind as a professional wrestler and murdered his family, does that mean that it erases all the work that he did in the ring as a professional wrestler? And we talked about this. Like, do you still like the guy and will you still watch his content? Will you not? I advised if you already are okay with the guy up to now with the stuff he's already done, you should still watch his stuff. But I've, you know, surmised he's going to lose all his sponsorships, all his partnerships. No one's going to want to associate with this guy. And he's going to have a very limited viewer base because a lot of people don't want to be associated with someone who was sexting a minor. Okay? Now, I made a mistake. Here's where I made my mistake. I said that this guy has a pattern of misbehavior. Okay? I basically said, number one, he's openly admitted to cheating on his wife. Correct? Like, we already know he openly admitted it publicly, apologized for it, said that he was going to change and become better, and to our knowledge, he's still with his wife. His family's still together, so maybe he has changed for the better. But he publicly admitted to doing this. That's number one. Number two, in a convention, he literally walked into a public bathroom with a full film crew and started filming people pissing and doing things in the bathroom, thinking that it was funny. He violated everyone's privacy at the convention. They kicked him out and banned him from the convention, and he almost got arrested for it, except that he basically blamed it on the crew, saying it was their idea. And so he got it pinned on someone else so he wouldn't get into trouble for it. Okay? So that's just two examples. There's more than that of things that he's done over the years, but those are kind of the two most egregious examples. And what I said is, so you've got a pattern that's established. He cheats on his wife. He does this thing at the convention. Now it comes out that he's sexting minors. It's like thing after thing after thing. It would have been one thing if this was the first time that he had done something wrong. He admits fault, says he's going to improve, and then he actually does. Then you give him the benefit of the doubt. Correct? But in this case, it's a pattern of misbehavior that continues. And so you know he's probably not going to change. This is just the kind of guy he is. Okay? Well, actually, guys, I was wrong. And I am willing to admit when I am wrong. I was absolutely wrong about the pattern of misbehavior. And I want to clarify because I feel like that misrepresents the situation. And that's information that I didn't have at the time. But people have looked into the situation, found more information, and I want to share this information with you. Okay? So this is an update to yesterday's story. It's actually a pretty big update. You ready? All right. So here's where I made my mistake. I said there was a pattern of misbehavior, correct? I said he cheated on his wife. Then there was this thing at the convention. Now it comes out that he's sexting a minor. Well, people investigated the timeline. All right? Here's the actual timeline of events. All right? This TwitchCon, where all this bad stuff apparently went down, ran from October 20th to 22nd, 2017. So almost 7 years ago. All right? And basically, that was the TwitchCon where Dr. Disrespect cheated on his wife. Okay? The woman in question was 24 years old. All right? I believe Dr. Disrespect was like either in his late 30s or early 40s at the time. So he cheated on his wife with a 24-year-old. So it was legal and everything, right, to do it. But pretty awful. And then he actually publicly admitted 2 months later on a stream in December 2017 of his wrongdoing. Like, that was when he came out and said, I've done this, you know, and I apologize for it, and I promise you I'm gonna do better. Okay? Fair enough. So for me, that was like the first outright evidence of misbehavior from this guy. I was wrong. Because, ladies and gentlemen, people have investigated this situation. This sexting that he did with a minor actually happened right before that TwitchCon. Okay? Now, this puts a whole new wrinkle on the situation. All right? For two reasons. Number one, basically, it's the same misbehavior. Basically, at this TwitchCon, he was looking to get laid. Right? And he was basically probably talking to a lot of different women. This minor was one of them, but apparently there were more of legal age, and he ended up hooking up with one of them actually at the con, and that's how he cheated on his wife and then admitted it later that year. Okay? So I was wrong about the timeline. It's basically all happened at once. So honestly, is there actually a pattern of misbehavior? Well, yeah, but all the misbehavior kind of happened all in one really short period of time. Right before then, that TwitchCon. So it very well could be that all happened then, and then he really did apologize. His wife forgave him, and maybe they actually have been faithful, and everything's been fine since then. Okay? I don't know. I don't live with the fucking guy, nor do I care. This is all just coming out now, and, you know, obviously everyone wants to talk about it, right? So that's the time. So I was wrong yesterday. There actually is no real pattern of sexual misbehavior. It's just, it all happened during that one TwitchCon, and perhaps since then, everything's been fine. There's been no evidence past that anything bad has happened after that. Okay? However, I don't necessarily think this makes the situation any better, because here's why. Directly the words of Dr. Disrespect on Twitter yesterday when he admitted sexting this minor, he said, it was just words and there was no intentions behind it, and I had no intentions of ever doing anything with this minor. Except he did sleep with someone at that TwitchCon. So he did have intentions of actually having sexual activity with someone other than his wife at TwitchCon. And it was someone who probably he was talking with Twitch DMs, just like this minor. So it might just be that he like dodged the bullet. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just ended up with the girl who was legal instead of the girl who wasn't. But this makes it absolutely look like he actually had intentions to cheat on his wife at TwitchCon. No matter what, like, that's what it looks like. And now, him saying, oh, well, it was no intentions. Well, there were intentions because you then did those bad things with somebody else. So what are you talking about? See what I'm saying? So I just, you know, again, the whole point here for me is he never should have done any of this. You are one of the biggest, most prominent video game content creators. You are riding the gravy train. You're getting rich. People like you. You're making tons of money. You're starting to get attention and sponsorship deals and show up at shows as a guest. Why are you on Twitch in whispers and DMs having explicit conversations with other women when you're married, and then why are you cheating on your wife? You are a complete fucking loser idiot. This is a key example of someone who is not set for fame, has no idea how to handle it, and completely misuses that power that he gets when he becomes famous. 100%. He had no level of maturity or anything in him. But let's be honest. This is a man who literally dresses up like a knockoff G.I. Joe and screams at a camera all day as a cartoon character, do you really think he has any maturity to begin with? He got popular for being a fucking immature idiot. So, of course, he doesn't have any real maturity in his body at all. But the thing is, maybe he did learn. Maybe he has changed. But does it matter that 7 years later it came out and he's publicly admitted to having these explicit, wrong conversations with a minor, and then he actually cheated on his wife at that same convention that he was talking to the minor to possibly hang out with? You see? So, yeah. So my correction is my timeline was wrong. It's not really a pattern of misbehavior. Possibly it's only one time of misbehavior, but man, was it bad misbehavior. Right? Okay. I really hope I don't have to talk about this after today, but I wanted to correct myself because I felt bad that I had said all this yesterday, and then after all this information came out, I was like, oh shit, I was wrong about that timeline, and so one of my major points is actually incorrect. So I've now corrected it. However, one more thing has come out. Not about Dr. Disrespect particularly, all right? But I do want to mention this, and then we'll get on to other game news, I promise you. I don't want to talk about this all podcast today. Another former employee of Twitch has come out, all right? This person is Relum, okay? At Relum714 on Twitter. And they posted this up yesterday afternoon. The Dr. Disrespect situation. I don't think most people have an idea of how bad things were behind the scenes at Twitch. I literally worked in the department that had access to the most data and information. I saw private whispers, etc. It was literally my job to investigate daily. I saw things every single day that I wish I never had to see. I always advocated for being a good human. Always expressed with heavy emotion on my streams how Twitch let pedophiles run free every day. I signed an NDA, and I'm afraid to get in trouble, but I have to say something. It's been bothering me for so long. These sick fucks don't deserve to be free. Sorry that this is pretty vague. I'm literally afraid for legal and safety reasons. I wish I could explain more, but I wanted to let you guys know half the shit you assume is probably true. So essentially what this guy is saying is, I was in the department where you could see everything. It's not just Dr. Disrespect. Tons of these people on Twitch who are celebrities are doing this, and no one does anything about it. They just get away scot-free. Now, I'm going to be honest here, all right? Can I be honest with you guys? When I started out on YouTube and I was at, you know, the prominence of my popularity, when you start to feel like your shit doesn't stink, you're some kind of a special fucking snowflake out there, right? You get ideas in your head that you're high and mighty, right? And yeah, I totally get when you get people coming at you and they're kissing your butt upright, left and down, telling you that you're their fucking idol, and you know, oh my God, I love you and shit like that. I can get it. I get it. It gets to you. It gives you a big fucking head. It makes you feel like you're a superhero, like you're fucking infallible, right? And you can go back to my time, my early days at YouTube, when I went from being the underdog that everyone was rooting for to actually one of the more prominent gaming YouTubers for a couple of years there, right? I argue the years of 2011, 2012, and 2013, all right? Basically, I kind of had a big head. My shit didn't stink. I would just keep doing things. Even when people said, Phil, you're saying things that are irresponsible. You're doing things that are bad and toxic. You're making content that's not even up to par with what everyone else does, but you're expecting to get insane amounts of views and support when everyone else is surpassing you. They're going faster. They're doing direct capture, live streaming. You're not doing any of that. You're just sitting there with a camera pointed at your TV, expecting that people are just going to keep giving you this adoration and attention, but you're falling behind, right? And you want to know what my headset was back then? It was, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm the famous guy, not you. I obviously know better than you. Who the hell are you to tell me what to do or how to act or how to change? You know, like that was my attitude. It was completely wrong. 1,000,000% my brain was in the wrong spot because I, in a few quick years, had gotten popularity and celebrity, and I didn't know how to handle it, right? It's on me. I made bad decisions, a lot of bad decisions during that time period early on. It was nothing like what Dr. Disrespect did or what apparently these other people are doing now in the modern era. Thankfully, I stayed in my fucking lane in that regard. I literally worked my ass off. I just kept pumping out content and making money on it when as they say, when the iron is hot, you strike, right? That's what I was doing. I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't getting into any inappropriate shit, nothing like that. I stayed away from that shit because I didn't want to be involved in that. I just wanted to make content, make money, make content, make money. But my mouth would get me in trouble from time to time saying dumb shit, right? But it seems like these people, I mean, can we be really honest here? You're a fucking person who's probably a lifelong gamer, maybe kind of antisocial, who knows? Maybe you never really even had a lot of social interaction before, and all of a sudden, within a very short period of time, you find yourself as a prominent person on the internet. Everyone likes you. Everyone says you're great. Everyone likes your content. All of a sudden, people are raining adulation and stuff on you. So now when people start to reach out to you in kind of inappropriate ways, you don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, oh my God, I get that, but at the same time, that's why you don't fucking do this shit. But, that's absolutely insane to me. Insane to me that these people thought it would be safe to use Twitch whispers as a way to talk doing this stuff and that they weren't eventually going to get caught out for it. Are you insane? That's not even secure. I don't condone the behavior. I condemn it. But, I mean, even if you have an iota of intelligence in your fucking head, why would you be using the Twitch whisper system as a way to communicate with people like this? You have to be a complete fucking idiot, right? Which, yes, Dr. Disrespect is literally one of the dumbest fucking people on this planet to have done that. I can't even think for a moment what went through his head that he thought that this was a good idea. Really. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about it now. So the follow-up here is the timeline was wrong. He actually was texting this minor before he went to TwitchCon and cheated on his wife, meaning he probably had intent to sleep with her too, just that he didn't end up with her. He ended up with a different woman who happened to be of legal age. That probably makes this even worse for him. But I was wrong in saying that there was a pattern of misbehavior. It really wasn't. It was like this one thing building up to this TwitchCon, and apparently after that, it all came out, and then he supposedly changed for the better. We don't know. But a Twitch employee is essentially saying, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you look under the water, there's a humongous Twitch misbehavior iceberg, and it always gets signed away under NDAs, and no one can ever talk about it. Isn't that great? It's interesting, huh? Because I always told you guys how great it was at Twitch, how professional they are, right? I mean, I've only been saying this for how many years? I don't know why no one listens to me except, everyone wants to make me the meme. So just because I'm the meme, it means that obviously everything I say is wrong, right? But I've been telling you guys for years how unprofessional and fucked up that place is, that no one should really be streaming there because it's completely unsafe. It's a fucked up, immoral environment. Seriously. But it is what it is. There you go. All right, let's continue on. Let's get to other news stories because I'm tired of talking about it. And I'll be honest with you guys, again, unless there's another major development that I have to correct something that I did that was wrong, I don't feel like I want to talk about that story again. I think I've said my piece on it now twice. You know my feelings about this guy and his behavior. So I don't need to keep talking about it over and over anymore. Unless there's something else that comes out that updates this again. Okay? Then and it has to do with me. That's what I mean. Like, if I have to correct myself again, I will. I'll correct my stance. But I felt like I felt really bad when I read that, and I was like, shit. I talked about this one stance I had yesterday about the pattern of misbehavior, and that's not fair for me to leave it at that when it was wrong because the timeline's been corrected. So I wanted to do that today.
Typically helps me more than anything.